In this video, you're gonna meet a guy who owns two very nice cars. This week we're gonna focus on one of those cars, his 1966 Chevy 2.
Wait a minute, a Chevy 2 or a Nova? Well, you know what? I'm not really sure. We're gonna find out right here, right now.
On After the Smoke Clears.
Roll the car guy footage. The Chevrolet Chevy 2, or the Nova, is a small automobile manufactured by the Chevy Corporation, and it was produced for 5 generations. The first generation was from 1962 to 65. The second generation was 66 and 67. The third, 1968 to 74. The fourth, 75 to 79. And then the fifth generation, which was the last generation, started in 1985 until they stopped production in 1988. Now, in 1962, the sportier version of the Nova sold for about $2,400, and they called it the Chevy 2 Nova 400 convertible. And then in 63, the Chevy 2 Nova 400 became a 4-door station wagon. In 1965, Chevy 2 Nova was a 4-door sedan. And then in 66, they made the Chevy 2 Nova Sport Coupe. What we're looking at here is a 1966 second generation Chevy 2 Nova Sport Coupe.
Yes, it's a Sport Coupe, but they did make a Super Sport. And a lot of guys that have got just Sport Coupes want to clone and make it a Super Sport, and I think that's not the real way to do it. So I left mine as a Sport Coupe, but it's not all original. I made this into a resto mod. So a lot of purists are not going to like the car because it's like, he doesn't have this original, he doesn't have that. Well, guess what? I built it for myself. Okay, the color was originally Hugger Orange, and too many other Chevy 2 Novas were getting painted Hugger Orange, and I decided to change it last year and went with Inferno Orange Metallic. Got it done last fall, been working on it. Wanted to have it ready by this summer, but no place to go, so I'm still working on it. The motor's a reworked 327 with early 90s TPI Corvette fuel injection, added air conditioning, power disc brakes, and it's a resto mod. It's not an original, and some people may like it and some people may not, but I built it for myself. Not planning on selling it. It's not for sale. Put all the glass in it myself. Like I say, I had somebody do the paint. Most of the interior work I've done, and just added things and deleted things how I felt that day. I'm ready to hit the streets. It's got a turbo 200 R4 trans in it, 12-bolt rear end, 370 posi gears. Used to be on the drag strip out in Colorado when I was out there 15 years ago, but hasn't seen the strip since I've been back to Illinois. Maybe one of these days, if they ever open strip again. I've had Novas all my life. First one was a 1962 gas company car. I got it for $200 that had a 4-cylinder in it and sold the engine for $400. Just been buying Chevy 2s whenever they're available, but they're kind of hard to find anymore now. So we got wheels are about 10, 15 years old. I wanted something different. I had torque thrust on there, and there's American Racing on there now. My son wants them bad for his car. I got the old Street Pro wide tires on the back, kind of like nostalgic. Everybody else is going radials. I wanted the bigger, wider tires. So I think it's kind of a unique look with the tinted glass and the interior and the mods that I've made. Really appreciate you guys coming out and taking a look at it. It's not too many of people have seen it, but I guess they're going to see it now, right? My name's Bob Barron. This is my 1934 Ford Coupe, 3-window coupe. This is my 66 Nova Chevy 2 Sport Coupe. This is what I enjoy doing, and this is why I'm a car guy.
So Mark, what did you think of Bob's Nova?
Well, I loved it, and I'm not just saying that. I think the color was awesome. I mean, he told us that he picked that color himself, which I think was really neat. The interior, I mean, it was impeccable. I loved every part of that car.
Yeah, I love that it has air conditioning. You know, as big guys, we really need air conditioning in our cars.
Yeah, right.
But I'll tell you what, having a 327, so he's got an old school motor. He's got the tune port injection, which makes it a little, you know, not so much old school, but it runs great.
Right.
He just put new exhaust on it. It sounds amazing.
Actually, he told us that he just got done putting that exhaust on before we got there,
Right.
and he hadn't even started the car yet.
Right, you never heard it until we heard it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounded amazing.
Yeah. And I was kind of wondering, you know, why he had the hood off, why he didn't have the hood on there. It would have been cool to get a couple shots with the hood on there, but I understand the guy was, you know, was working on the car.
Yep, he was in the middle of doing a lot of work, and he just got done restoring that car, which it's a beautiful car. And I love that he's got a custom color paint job on there instead
Yeah.
of just old school hugger orange.
Yeah, exactly. I got a really good shot of the dashboard. You know, I'm kind of a dashboard guy, if you haven't noticed. And I don't know, the dashboard looked great. It was nice and clean. As far as I know, everything on there was original. I think he did add a tachometer on there, but everything else looked original. Even the radio looked original. And then one of the things I guess I didn't understand that maybe you can explain to me. So he had mentioned in there about the rear end, that it was a 12-bolt rear end. I don't know that I understand that.
So when you have higher horsepower engines, they were putting 12-bolt posies or 12-bolt rear ends. Most of the time they're a posi rear end. So you weren't getting a limited slip, you weren't getting the one-wheel squeal. You're getting both tires turning at the same time. His has a 12-bolt posi, has a 373 gear. It's a much heavier rear end. It keeps you on the ground better. That's probably the one benefit. It's also super, super strong, so it can handle all the horsepower.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah, so I really liked his rims on his car. I love that they were an older set of American Racing rims. Everybody goes with these newer American Racing rims. They all look the same. They're kind of a playoff on the Kreger SS. His rims look pretty cool on his car. Yeah. I love how he has the old school tires on there. They're new, old school looking tires that fit the entire hull. Like cool. I don't think I could put my fingers, rub my fingers against his tire and get past the wheel well. That's how tight everything was.
Yeah.
But he's got a really nice suspension on that car. Everything has been custom done. He did a really nice job on his car.
Yeah. And I love the rear end of the car. That was another thing that kind of caught my eye. It was just a cool rear end, you know, with that chrome strip going down the middle and the taillights. I mean, it was just a...
Yeah, instead of the big panel that used to go across
Right.
those, especially like the SS's had a big panel. That car not being an SS, I love that it's not an SS. I love that it doesn't have Nova or Chevy 2 written all over it.
Right.
It's just a plain car. People gotta wonder what it is. One of the cool things I really liked about Bob's car is that his is not a super sport package. His was a sport coupe package, which the super sport had SS emblems all over it, had a little bit different interior. I think the SS, I don't even think it came with the same engine, but if it did, it was just a little bit different horsepower. But the sport coupe is really a cool car. I love his car.
Yeah, very sharp. Yeah, and speaking of his engine, he made mention too that his motor has a TPI on there. It came off of a Corvette. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, back in the 80s, all the 80s Corvettes came with a tune port injection. I love that guy because he's a true old car guy.
Yeah.
He helps everybody with their cars too. So there's a lot of things you can say about Bob. Bob's just a true car guy.
Yeah, he definitely was a really nice guy. I was impressed with all the dash plaques that he had. I mean, there must have been, I don't know, 250 of them.
Yeah,
Of
at
all
least.
the car shows that he has been to. And
The cool thing about Bob is Bob has lived in Colorado. He's been a member of some of the bigger major Nova clubs. The guy's been in the car hobby for about 50 years.
Wow, yeah.
And the guy really knows all the ins and outs about being a car guy. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about next week when we interview him for his 1934 Ford Coupe.
Yeah, this was another car that he has just spent hours on restoring. And I love the fact that it's got two different blacks on there. He's got the gloss black and the flat black, and pinstriping that's been on there for 20 years.
And it looks amazing.
Oh, it's totally amazing. And boy, he's put a lot of work into the interior. It looks great, although everything's not original, it still looks amazing. And then underneath the hood, my gosh, it's just jewelry we're looking at. If you guys remember last week on the Volkswagen video, we had a little bit of a disagreement that needed to be settled.
Punch bug.
Slug bug. And we asked the viewers to help us out and decide. We gave them a choice. Is that game, when you see a Volkswagen Beetle, is it called punch bug or is it called slug bug?
Well, I give up. I lost. It turns out that more people think that slug bug is the right way. And I did try to get a hold of the Volkswagen Museum in San Diego, but because of COVID-19, it's closed and I was not able to get to somebody. But I'm pretty sure that Volkswagen says that it's punch bug.
Actually, I'll tell you what I found in my research if you're interested. Okay, so most people said slug bug, but there was a name to the game. And the name to the game was actually coined by the Volkswagen company. Punch buggy. Punch buggy is the name of the game, but people said slug bug while playing. So,
okay. So you win because you got more votes, but I realistically am a lot closer to punch buggy than it is slug buggy.
all right, we'll give you that one. So at the beginning of this video, we told you the guy we interviewed, Bob, owns 2 cars. Today, we covered his Nova. Next week, we get the opportunity to cover his
1934 Ford Coupe.
This thing is absolutely beautiful. I love the dual paint jobs, the gloss versus the flat black. He's got pinstriping on the back of the car. It's been there for 20 years.
Yeah, and if you're a guy from the 80s and you remember ZZ Top, who doesn't love the 1934 Ford Coupe?
Exactly. And wait until you see this motor. It's like jewelry. Beautiful car. By the way, we want all of our viewers to be involved in our videos as much as possible. So if you have a comment about one of our videos, maybe you have a suggestion of something that we can do better, we would love to hear your comments, and you can do that by leaving it in the comments below. And most importantly, if you would like to be a featured car guy on a future episode, definitely leave that down in the comments and we'll reach out and get something set up.
Exactly, and if you don't live in our area, we could always do like a video chat with you, and you could send us video and pictures of your car. So don't think that because you live in California, Chip Foose, we will definitely be putting you on after the smoke clears.
Absolutely. If you liked this video, please make sure you click the subscribe button down here in the corner.
And don't forget to hit the bell. When you hit the bell, it actually turns on notifications, and you'll get all the future episodes of
After the Smoke Clears.